I won't always be motivated. I don't want to do yoga today. But we must learn to be self-disciplined, to have self-control, to keep that long-term goal in mind. A long-term goal, I want to be more flexible. I want to be more mobile. When the short-term sirens are whining at you, I don't want to do this today. You've got to not let that invade your thoughts. You've got to stop. Just stop. Come to your mat. Come on now. Who's in charge? Come to your mat. Who's in charge of you? What do you want? What's your big picture goal? Come to your mat. Here's an uncomfortable question. Sometimes things can be uncomfortable. Sometimes yoga can be uncomfortable. But here's an uncomfortable question. What's holding you back from improving yourself? And you know your yoga improves yourself. All right, give me 1 hour, or better yet, give yourself this hour to put an end to those doubts and to just show up on your mat and feel good. You will feel good. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. That's the best part of it. Today's practice, it's 1 hour long, like always, every day, live, Monday through Friday, with recordings on the weekend. It's a live class, start to finish. Stick around as much as you can. But today's practice, I've got no props. I'm not going to use any props. If you've got the props, and you want to use them, by all means do it. But I'm doing this today with no props, no excuses. Because there's some of you that have said, oh, I don't have the props. Oh, I don't know how to get this. Come as you are. Isn't that the truth? Just come as you are and just do. Fake it till you make it, right? Sometimes you got to do that. That's why I sometimes say, put a smile on your face. It helps. It really helps. Your yoga helps with so many things too. It helps with your body, your mind, your spirit, bringing it all together. Everybody can do this practice, but the thing is, you do what's right for your body, and everybody's body is different and every day is different. Just show up on your mat. If you stay in child's pose and then go to final Shavasana, good on you. Showing up is a good head game. You can do it. Just modify. Don't hurt yourself, all right? A lot to say, a lot to think about. The word I'd like you to think about today is this one, attention. Attention. Attention means concentration, really focusing, narrowing the range of stimuli. There's so much out there. Narrowing the range of stimuli and paying attention to your body and how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally. It's important. So think how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally during the practice, during the poses, and then again at the end afterward. And how are we going to measure our success in this practice? By taking a stress number. We do it all the time. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, smiley face to frowny face in the doctor's office, assign it a number. What's the stress number going on right now? Give it a number, quick, don't overthink it, and then come to your mat. I'm going to have water. I always like to have water, just, you need it. But no props unless you want them. So come to your mat. Come into Pentacle pose. All right, here's the deal. Pentacle pose. What's that? If you're just starting, come down to your mat, or maybe you're on your carpet. Come to your mat. Spread your legs wide. Spread your arms wide, high overhead. Come into the shape of a capital letter X. You can do that. So just think of this as opening up. And it does feel like opening up, doesn't it? Open up to be receptive. To be receptive to this practice, to be receptive to what you're feeling in your body. Maybe you've been skeptical. I like to say that I practice for skeptical boomers. People who just, question, the woo-woo of yoga, the ability of yoga to do anything. It's just lying around and a bunch of stretching. No, it's so much more than that. Be receptive to it. So let your pinky toes fall toward the earth. Arms are reaching. All 4 limbs are spread to all 4 corners of the room. Pay attention to your breath. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big sighing breath out through your mouth. Let it go. And really do make a sound when you sigh it out. Big breath in. Sighing breath out. You're practicing at home. Nobody's here to listen to you or to judge you or to criticize you. And if they do, they're just jealous because they can't do it. Big breath in. Big breath out. It's easier to stay stuck. It's easier to stay stuck and not do than to change. The saying, change is hard. It is hard. But if you're not going to do it, how are you ever going to get unstuck? If if you don't like where you are. Take a deep breath in. Another big sighing breath out. Let it go. Take a big breath in. See how big you can go. And a big loud sighing breath out. See how much you can empty out. Feel your shoulders deflate. Stress in the shoulders is going away. Breathe and let it be. And you know what? Totally fine if you stay here in Pentacle longer. Stay in Pentacle as long as you want. Maybe the entire hour you stay right here. I'm going to press on up and come into a thunderbolt pose if you'd like to join me. Arms down by my side, legs back together, slowly come on up, and put yourself kind of in autopilot. All right? So just come to do. I'm going to have a seat on my heels. Maybe bend your knees and have a seat on your heels. If that's not comfortable, sit another way, maybe with the legs crisscross, applesauce, like the kids say. So, bring your hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in. And a big sighing breath out. Now let's change the way we breathe. Let's do that Ujjayi pranayama breath, if you like. To do that, close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose only. This is your focus inward. This is your pulling it in and just focusing on you, giving your attention, your concentration to you by narrowing the range of stimulus around you. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Your hands are at prayer center, a position of gratitude and thanks. And be happy for what you got. Be happy for this moment and focus only on this moment, on this breath. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, let's increase the airflow a little bit. Blink your eyes open. Let your arms sweep on up to the sky as you breathe in. And as you exhale, let the arms float down. Shoulders float down too. Let's do a couple of those. Arms up. And exhale. So you're getting into your shoulders here. Maybe a little bend in your shoulders feels better. You just want to feel good. Up on the inhale and exhale. Big inhale. Big exhale. Feel your shoulders. Up, down, in, out. Eyes are closed, jaw relaxed, shoulders, you're moving them. Bring the arms down by your sides. Bring your arms down to the ground like little kickstands. Send your chest up to the sky. Send your chin up to the sky. Maybe walk your hands back a bit. Lift your chest up, up, up. Lift your chin up. Exhale, come back to your shoulders over your hips. Maybe you're keeping your eyes closed. And then hinge forward at the waist and reach your arms long, long, long to the front of your room. Let your head hang down toward your knees as best you can. Big breath in and big breath out. Hollow the air out of your belly, letting your chest maybe come to your thighs or whatever's comfortable. Push into the earth. Breathe. So you're essentially in your classic child's pose with an arm extension. Slowly come on back up. Shoulders over your hips. How are you doing? All right, when you're ready, plant one hand on the ground, reach through the other arm, push into the ground, lift out of the other arm, and then let the arm that's extended cross the midline of the body. Chin away from the chest, top shoulder away, stretch. You've got a foundational arm, you've got that reaching arm, you're getting that nice big stretch up the side of your body on the extended arm side. Breathe deeply, no shallow breaths here. Just be on autopilot and appreciate your breath. Soften the jaws, breathe. Slowly come on back up to center. Send both arms up high like extended mountain arms. Stretch. Other arm comes down, fingers touch the earth. Maybe you take the hand flat on the ground. Extend through the lengthened arm. Reach across the midline of your body. Top shoulder is back. Chin is away from your chest. Breathe. Big breath in. Big breath out. So you're pushing into the ground. You're reaching through your fingertips. Nice big stretch. Let it feel excellent. Keep the weight on both bottom cheeks kind of equal. Don't let the bottom cheek on the side of your body where your arm is extending, don't let it pop up. Really keep it rooted and grounded and reach. Slowly, slowly, come on back up to center. Extended mountain, kind of explode the arms up in gratitude. Take a big breath in. And a big shoulder softening breath out as you bring the arms down by your sides. Big hug, you know this one, can't have enough hugs. Embrace yourself. Tee out your arms. Nice and big, backs of the hands to the back wall. Now give yourself a big hug. Let the arms cross in front of your body. Elbows cross each other. Reach your fingers toward your spine. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Think of expanding your shoulders to the sides of the room as your hands squeeze, and give yourself a big hug. Hold it here. Breathe through it. Enjoy it. Enjoy how it feels in your upper back. Open up your arms. Tee them out again. Send the backs of your hands really far back and even feel your chest lift. Take the other arm and bring it on top. Do you remember which one? I don't know that I do. Bring the opposite arm on top. Reach your fingers toward your spine. Squeeze your shoulders. And then let your shoulders expand to the side of your room. Soften in your jaws, soften in your shoulders. Explode on up, arms shoot up high, extended mountain pose in the arms lift. Exhale, breathe. All right, kind of a cow face pose here. Let's bend one elbow. Bend the elbow, let the other hand reach for that elbow and hold on to the elbow. So you're hugging your arm in next to your ear. Give yourself a pat on the back with the hand and let it be. Chest is lifted. Ooh, feel a nice stretch up the tricep of that arm. Hold the elbow in, breathe. Soften into your mat. And let's release. Arms go high, explode into that position of gratitude and thanks. Lift up, look up. Exhale. Bend the opposite arm. Hug that elbow in. Really work to get that hand to give yourself a pat on the back. Squeeze the elbow in toward your side of the head. Bicep and ear maybe touching. Nice tight squeeze. Relax in the low body. Sink on into the foundation of the earth. Breathe. And let the arms go on up. Reach. Extended mountain arms. Soften in the shoulders and bring the hands on down to your thighs. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Look to the right, look to the left. Maybe the eyes are still closed. Just turn your head. Turn your head right, turn your head left. Keep at it. Maybe you can turn a little bit more. Maybe you can help yourself with the turn here. When your head turns to the left, take your left hand and bring it up and touch the outside of your right jaw. And maybe with the two peace fingers, give it a little bit of a nudge. Shoulders are soft. Turn the head just a wee bit more. Breathe. As you exhale, maybe you can twist a little bit more. And then let's finish up slowly. Remove the hand. Slowly bring the head back to the midline and take it to the other side. Turn your head to the right. Lift your right hand up. Take the right two peace fingers, place them on the outside of your left jaw. Soften in the shoulders. Give a gentle nudge as you look over your shoulder here. Breathe. As you're ready, slowly hand comes down to the leg, gaze goes back to the midline of your body. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. All right, lift your arms up. Bring your fingertips to your shoulders, kind of like chicken dance, right? Bring your hands, fingertips to your shoulders. Let the elbows open wide to the sides and to the back of the room, and then draw little circles moving them in one direction. Little teeny circles with your elbows, maybe make them bigger. Chicken dance. Why not? Thank you, Sherry. You like my shirt. Isn't it fun? Hello to Betty. Hello to Liz. Hello to Tammy, Stan, Sarah, Lori, Kelly, Robin, Brianna. Nice to see you. Take your little chicken wing elbows to the back side of the room, or just the opposite direction. Breathe. Big breath in. Big breath out. You got it. Let's finish. Bring your shoulders on down. Shoulders are awake, aren't they? We've done a lot with them. All right, let's come into a child's pose. Briefly, an extended child's pose. So take it as best you can. Maybe you do have your props and you want to use them, but you don't need them. So spread your knees. Bring your big toes to touch. Sink your bottom back towards your hips and reach your arms long to the top of your mat. Big breath in, big breath out. Settle. Settle in. Let the tension go. Breathe. Crown of your head is lengthening to the front of the room. Tailbone is going to the back of the room. Big breath in, big breath out. Push your hands with fingers spread wide into your mat. Breathe in, breathe out. And let's come out of it. But here's how we're going to come out of it. Knees are spread wide. Just hinge forward like you're going to go into a frog plank. Hinge forward, weight into your arms, shoulders over your wrists. Hold it for a second, and then bring it on back again. And let's just flow through this a little bit. Really push into your mat, tailbone to the back of the room. Hinge on forward. Breathe. And if it doesn't feel good for your knees, put more padding under them. You could have a towel, but we're not doing props today. But if you want, know that there are ways to make things work. Use towels, use blocks, we can use straps. So you're just going back and forth here. Yoga doesn't have to be stressful. That's not the point. You want to do what feels good and you want to move. If it hurts, don't do it. And do what you can. Do the fullest range of motion that you can, and don't judge yourself. Breathe. All right, let's finish up in that, and let's come into a neutral tabletop. In a neutral tabletop, your shoulders are over your wrists. Your knees are underneath your hips. Let's do cat-cow. Great for your spine. Push the tops of your feet into your mat and push your hands into your mat. Lengthen through your tailbone and the crown of your head. For cat pose, as you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under. I always feel like I want to tuck my tailbone more. And take a cow pose. As you inhale, crown of your head lifts and your tailbone lifts too. So I like to think of it as putting your body and your spine into the shape of the letter C for cow. Really push into the mat. And for cow, you're doing the opposite. You're flipping the C in the other direction. So breathe through this. Take a moment. Feel what you feel. Breathe. Exhale, cat. Think of your belly button going to your spine. Inhale, cow. Other direction. And breathe and relax into it. How does this make you feel during the practice? As you do each pose, as you do each movement, as you take each breath, how does it feel? Come to a neutral tabletop. Extend your right leg long. Push the ball of the foot into the mat. Nice big calf stretch here. Breathe. Lift the extended right leg up. Let the leg cross over the midline of the body. Hug high in the upper inner thighs. Place the foot back down on the ground. Look over your left shoulder. Take this nice big stretch in the right side of your body. Keep pressing equally into your hands. Look back to your foot. Maybe you can sneak a peek of your knee. Maybe your bottom is there too. Look at it. Now, come back to the midline of your body. Let the legs sweep back and let it sweep on up as high as you want to take it, maybe to about hip height. Plant the sole of the foot and let the right arm come up to the sky and look up. Look up. Get back into your neck. We moved our neck a lot in that seated position. From right to left, we used our peace fingers to nudge it. Turn your neck. Look up high. Look to your fingers. You can do it. You just need the encouragement. Just stick with it and believe in yourself. Hand comes down to your mat. Right leg goes back to meet the left. Let's do the same thing again, but on the other side. Left leg extends. Plant the ball of the foot. Push into the mat. Feel the strength in your strong legs. You've got strong legs. You've got a strong body. Give it what it needs. Movement, mobility, flexibility. Lift it up. Cross it over the midline. Plant it on down and look over your right shoulder this time. Look back to the foot, the knee, the bottom. Nice big stretch on your left side here. Breathe in, breathe out. When you're ready, bring the leg around and around and around. Bring it up to about hip height or whatever is right for you. Plant the sole of the foot. Send the left arm up, up, up to the sky. Twist and look up. Push into the earth. Look up to the sky. Look up to your fingers. Lengthen through those fingers. Exhale. Hand plants, knee plants, around a cat-cow to even everything out. And we're going to do something kind of fun. When you're ready, cat, and then cow. What is fun? I'll tell you what's fun. In our final Shavasana, something a little different. I think you're going to like it, but we're not headed there quite yet. Now we're going to go into broken wing. All right, this is pretty intense in the shoulders, but we worked our shoulders pretty well this morning. So come on down. Come on down to your belly. Extend your left arm long. Right arm bends. Right hand underneath your right shoulder. Roll onto your left hip. As you roll onto your left hip, feel the stretch starting in that left extended arm. Right arm is the driver here. Push into it a little bit more if you want to intensify the pose. Legs can be long if you like that. What feels good for you? Maybe a little bend in the knees feels better. Breathe. Maybe the right knee bends and you bring the sole of the right foot in front of the extended left leg. Maybe you like that. Another option, so many options. Right foot plants behind the extended left leg. Breathe. Do what you like. Push harder into the right hand if you want in your broken wing pose. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Don't let it hurt. It's uncomfortable, but just breathe through the discomfort. You can do that. Practice that. This is a good pose in which to practice breathing through discomfort. But you know, if it's painful, you know the difference between pain and discomfort. If it's painful, don't do it. Back out of it. Take it slower. Take it less. 10%. But if it's just uncomfortable, breathe through it. Let's take it to the other side. All right. Roll on down to your belly. Switch out your arms. So you're going to bring your right arm teed out, left arm bent. Roll onto your right hip. Legs can be long. Legs can be bent. Legs can be long with the left leg bent and push the sole of the foot into the ground behind the extended right leg. Or top leg plants in front of the extended right leg. Left arm's your driver. Push into your mat. Breathe. Feel what you feel. Discomfort, think of it as growth. Think of it as change. If it's not hurting you, come on, you can do it. But if it's painful, back out, back out, back out. Don't do it. Breathe. All right, let's finish. Broken wing, legs come down, roll back onto your belly. How are you doing? That's pretty intense, isn't it? Hands under your collarbones. Press on up. That's a seal pose. Press on up. Let your bottom relax. Send your hips to the side of the room. Hold here. Breathe. And let's make our way up to a standing on our knees position. Let's do toes pose without the blocks. If you have the blocks and you want to do them, go for it. All right, so we're going to be standing on our knees. Tuck your toes to your shins. Have a seat on your heels. Oh my goodness. Have a seat on your heels. How does it feel? Again, same thing, just like with the shoulders. Discomfort, deal with it. Pain, back out of it. You don't need pain. But adjust so it's right for you. Just don't quit. Adjust, change, modify. Don't quit. All right, so with your hands, let's take our hands and bring them to prayer center for a moment of gratitude. Shoulders are soft. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Breathe. Arms, take them so they are parallel to each other, reaching to the front of your mat. Arms are parallel to each other, reaching to the front of your mat. Let's cross the arms. Maybe bring the right one on top of the left so you got like an X shape in your arms. Breathe, breathe. Now, let's take the bottom arm, bend the elbow, and then hug it in. Hug it in, letting the arms cross, the extended arm cross the midline of the body. Feel this in your shoulder. Breathe. Hug it in with that bent elbow. Soften in your shoulders. You got it. Let's let the arms go parallel again, reaching long to the front of the room. Bend the opposite elbow and hug it in. Hug it in, hug it in, hug it in. Did you do both sides? I don't know if I did. Hug it in, breathe. Tee out your arms. Nice big hug like we did earlier in the seated position. Hug. Tee out the arms. Nice big hug with the opposite arm on top. And then finish up. Bring your arms down to your thighs, hands down to your thighs, shoulders back and down. And then finish. Come out of your toes pose. Come into a neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up. Squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle the ankles in one direction, then the other. Tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Tap them out. Make like a drum roll sound. Plant the feet on the mat. Take the counter pose to your toes pose, which is your ankle pose. Have a seat back on your ankles. Have a seat back on your ankles, very similar to what we did earlier in our little warm-up when we did our thunderbolt pose. So stretch the ankles out. But let's add some more to it, if you like. Bring your hands down by your sides, kind of a kickstand. Shoulders back and down, reach the earth. And then when you're ready, knees are together, glued together, lift them on up off of your mat and balance on your ankles. Your hands are down by your sides like a little kickstand. Stretch out your feet in the opposite direction. You've got this. Big breath in and big breath out. Maybe take it even farther. Play with it here. You know your body. Lean back a little bit more if that feels right, or lean a little bit less if that feels right. Just take it to your full range of motion. Nobody's judging you. Nobody's beside you doing it more or less or whatever. There's no competition. It's just you. The competition is this: be better today than you were yesterday. All right, there's your ankle pose. Foundation is nice and strong and solid now, right? All right, let's come on back up to the neutral tabletop. Do the same thing you did a moment ago. Squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle the ankles in one direction, then the other. And drum roll, please, one more time. Nice. Come down to your bottom. Down to your bottom. Legs go long, toes up toward the sky. You know this one. This is our seated forward fold. Toes are up toward the sky. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Think of your pinky toes coming closer to the earth, but keep your heels together. So think of almost like being a dancer. So toes, pinky toes toward the earth, open them up, and then bring them back to meet. Big toes meet. Open them up, and bring them back to meet. Just a couple times. Just move. Just move. That's what we all need to do more of. All right. Toes up toward the sky. Arms lift high to the sky. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes because you can. Still the fingers, still the toes, lengthen up, Exhale, reach forward with parallel arms. Reach, reach, reach. Stretch out your low back and feel the goodness like we do when we do a ragdoll pose. Breathe. Look down towards your knees. Capture your legs, whatever you can capture. Keep your elbows hugged in. Big breath in and big breath out allows you to fold more. Finish up, shoulders over your hips. Spread your legs good and wide and reach your arms in between your legs toward the front of your room. As far as you like, you can do whatever. A lot of times when we have blocks, we place the blocks in front of us to bring the ground up to us. So if you don't have blocks, maybe buy them. They're awesome. Hi, Diana. How are you? I am so glad that you are here. Reach, reach, reach. Little bend in your knees might feel better here. Big breath in, big breath out. You can do it. And to do it, you just got to come back and do it, right? You just got to come back and do it every day. Every day. Stick with it, even if it's just for a few minutes. Come on back up to shoulders over your hips. Bring your legs back together to meet. Let's bring our hands down as a kickstand. Let's go into a little different variation of a boat pose, Navasana. We did this yesterday. We do this a lot of days because it's such a good pose, and you'll see why. All right, press into your hands. Maybe you keep them right here, and you lift one leg up or the other. You can continue with that, or you can slip on down to your forearms, keeping your shoulders over your elbows. Lift one leg up or the other. And then let's play with it a little bit. Let's lift both legs up. Take your time. Your core is strong. Lift your legs up so they're at about a 45-degree angle and hold it right here. Pretty intense, isn't it? And there are other ways we do it, but the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So stick with it. Let's bring one leg down and keep the one leg up, and then bring that leg back up so they meet in that 45-degree angle position. Then bring the other one down, heel touches down, then comes back up. And just continue lifting and lowering either on your elbows or maybe you're up on your hands. You do what is right for you. On and on and on and on, right? Let's bring the legs back up to a 45-degree angle and hold. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's bring them on down. All right, there you go. Just a little different variation of your boat pose. It helps with stability. All right, let's do another little core pose called Crouching Bear or Crouching Panther, goes by both names. Come back to your neutral tabletop. In your neutral tabletop, tuck your toes towards your shins. You know, you do this as long as you like or as little as you like. You decide. I guess it's the same thing, isn't it? As long as you like or as little as you like. Toes are tucked in, just lift your knees up. Lift your knees up and hold. Your shoulders are over your wrists. Just hold on here with the knees just, suspended in air about, a couple inches above the earth. Hold here, fingers spread wide, weight equally distributed in both hands. Hold it. One of the things we try to do is a 1-minute plank each day in our practices. But you do what you can with what you got. One of the beautiful things about the timing of it is it's kind of a fun challenge for you. And you can see how long you can hold it. And over time, it will improve. Today, we're going to bring it on down. No timers, just practice, just having some fun. All right, now let's come into a brief pentacle pose. Remember that? We started in it. Now, you're going to have a choice. Come down to your pentacle, on your back. Oh my goodness, it feels wonderful. Spread your arms high overhead and your legs spread too. Limbs going to all four corners of the room. Stay right here. You've done a lot already. Big breath in and big breath out. Now you can stay here, or if you stay here, we'll all come back. I'm going to come on up to standing and do some standing poses. If you don't want to have this be a standing practice, if you want to stay here, go ahead and do that. To stand, I'm going to bring my arms down by my side, my legs together, and I'm going to press on up to a seated position. I'm going to make my way on up to standing, and then we're going to do a couple of poses that you're really familiar with a little twist. All right, So in your standing position, here's the treat for today. One of the treats, surprise treat. I have another treat. We're going to do Ragdoll. Oh my goodness, love Ragdoll. To do that, toes, feet, hip width distance apart. Hinge forward, 2 fist widths, the feet are apart. Look back to your knees. That's an important part. Don't look at your toes. Look back to your knees to let your head hang heavy. Take your hands to opposite elbow creases. Put a little bend in your knees. Let it feel good. Maybe that feels good. Maybe you like the legs straightened. But look back to your knees. Maybe you look even higher to your belly button. Start to sway your elbows from side to side. This is Ragdoll. Decompress your low back. All right, if you said you wanted to stay in Pentacle, but now that you see we're doing Ragdoll and you want to do it, come on up and do your Ragdoll pose. Then maybe go back to your Pentacle. There's no rule that says you have to do it all. You do what that body of yours wants today. Let's finish up and still our Ragdoll pose. Challenge your balance a little bit. Lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. And if you want, you can put your fingers down on your mat just for that little extra boost of confidence. When you're ready, plant your feet solidly on your mat. Roll your spine up. Think one vertebra at a time, coming to stack on top of each other like Legos. Come on up. Remove your chin from your chest. Absolutely last. All right, so you did your Ragdoll pose. Special treat. Here's another one. Sarah really liked this the other day against the wall. You can do it against a wall, but I'm not using props today. Lift your arms up. You will look taller. Bring your body into the shape of the letter Y. There's the Y for the word you. Let's bring our arms into the shape of the letter W for the word will. Elbows are down, backs of the hands squeeze to the back wall. 2 L's, forward and backward, so your elbows are hugged in. L for look, feel like your chest is nice and open. Tee out your arms for taller. Pulse your hands to the back of the room. Let's do it again with the eyes closed, maybe, if you want to challenge your balance a little bit, or open your eyes, that's fine too. Big letter Y, big letter W. Feel the strength of those muscles up and down your spine. Big letter L for look, big letter T for taller, and pulse. One more time, and you really will look taller. You will look taller. Feels so great. Bring your arms down by your sides and just enjoy this moment. Arms are down by your sides, shoulders are over your hips. Deep breath in. And deep shoulders softening, breath out. Now let's do some balancing. So important. Blink your eyes open. All right, we're going to combine a couple of poses here. Let's do tree pose as the first pose. Root into your left foot. As you root into your left foot, take the weight out of the right, open up the right knee to the side of the room. Maybe you've got your hands on your hips, or maybe you've got your hands at prayer center. The right foot, the sole of it, bring it to inside the left ankle. And then as you desire, slip it on up a little bit higher if you want, or higher still, but just leave a space on your knee. Don't push the foot into the knee. The knee is not designed to bend sideways. So I'm going to push the sole of my foot into my upper inner thigh, and I'm also going to push my upper inner thigh back into my foot. You really got to focus here. Turn your attention inward. Hips are equidistant to the front of your room, hands to prayer center. Look forward. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meets and grow your branches if you like. Sway your branches if you like. Breathe. Focus upward. Let's bring our hands back to prayer center. Let's remove our foot from our leg and bring the knee to the front of the room. Thigh is parallel to the earth, so your knee is at about hip height. Hold it here. You can stay right here with your hands at prayer center or take it to your one-legged mountain. Lift through your fingers. I think that's easier than hands at prayer center. Find your balance. Breathe. Right toes drawn up towards your shin. You've got it. Now bring your hands back to prayer center. Right foot, step it out really far to the front of your mat. Step it out. All 10 toes are pointing forward. Let's take this to a warrior 3 pose. Right, the weight hinges into your right leg. Left toes are dancing on your mat, or maybe you lift them a little bit higher. Totally fine. can stay right here. Take it in layers. Maybe left leg lifts a little higher. Little bend in your right knee, don't lock it out. Hands can stay at prayer center, or if you feel sassy, you can put them on your hips. Or you can reach your arms long to the front of your room. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Sweep the extended arms back, palms face down. Fingers spread wide, back leg lifts a little higher. Hands now to prayer center. Sweep the left leg through, and if you fall out, no big deal. Bring the leg back to a one-legged mountain. Arms go high if you wish. Lengthen up. Hands to prayer center. Take the sole of the left foot inside the right thigh. Breathe here. Grow your branches. Sway them. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room and plant the left foot next to the right. You did it. Other side. Root into your right leg. Hands to prayer center. Open up the left leg to the side of the room. Take your tree pose. Tree pose however you like. Sole of the foot wherever you want it to be. You can keep your hands at prayer center. You decide. Breathe. Shoulders back over your hips. Lengthen up, look up, grow your branches. Sway them. Breathe. Hands to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Lift the knee up. Take your one-legged mountain. Add in the arms if you like. Breathe. Lengthen up. Root into that foot. You're strong. Lift out of your fingers. You can do it. Hands back to prayer center. Take a big step out with that left foot. Hinge forward, placing the weight into the left leg. Right toes lift a little bit from your mat. Maybe the right toes lift a lot off of your mat. Bring your body into the shape of a letter T. Hands at prayer center, hands at hips, or reach. Breathe. Sweep the arms back, palms face down. Breathe, leg lifts. Hands back to your hips or to prayer center. Sweep the right leg. Take your time. Sweep the right leg back to your one-legged mountain. Lift out of your fingers. Draw the toes to the shin. Lift. You got it. Lift. You got it. Stay strong. It's fun to challenge yourself, isn't it? Hands back to prayer center. Right foot to the inside of the left leg. Take your tree pose. Grow your branches if you want. Look up high. Look up where the ceiling and the wall meet. Sway your branches. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Piece of cake after all you did. Plant the right foot next to the left. You did it. Most excellent. All right, extended mountain one more time. Arms lift. Lift and reach. You got it. Pop up onto the balls of your feet. Do a little bit of balancing here. Reach out of your fingers. You got it. You got it. All right, plant your heels. Take it to chair pose, Utkatasana. Arms are parallel to each other. Sit back like you're going to sit in a little chair. Sit back, reach your arms. Sit back and hold here. Doesn't feel so good in your shoulders? Hands can stay at prayer center. Totally fine. Bring them to opposite shoulders if you like. Or reach. The reach is kind of nice because it's a counterbalance as you send more weight back into your bottom. Send so much weight back into your bottom you can lift your toes and give them a wiggle. Breathe, hold here, you got it. Hold it, sink lower, breathe, look forward. Chair pose, Utkatasana, strengthen your quads, you got it. You're strong, sink lower, hold, reach farther if you want. When you're ready, arms come down, legs straighten. Take a forward fold, looking back to your knees. Crown of your head is heavy. Maybe hands capture behind your calves, elbows hugged in, fold in half. Breathe. Hands come down to your mat, bend your knees, make your way down to your mat. If you stayed in Pentacle pose, now we're all gonna come back together again. We'll all meet in a seated forward fold. So come down to your bottom, Legs go long, arms go high, lengthen up. Just a few more poses, and we're gonna have that surprise final Shavasana. Lengthen, exhale, reach. Reach. You did this just a moment ago in that standing position. Remember, you reached for your calves and you folded in half. Fold in half again here. Look at your knees. Hold on to your ankles, your calves. Breathe. Inhale. Your chest is going to lift up because you're filling your belly with air. And then exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right. Come on up. Shoulders over your hips. Spine strengthening is so important. Let's do Superman. Fun pose. And boy, is it effective. Come on down to your belly. Think of Superman. All right, arms go long and reach to the top of your mat like an extended child's pose. Legs are long on your mat and they're kind of spread a little bit, kind of to the edges of your mat. Tops of your feet are on your mat. Your nose, your chin are down on your mat. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Superman, think of Superman flying. Let's lift one leg up, put it down, then lift the other. Ooh, feel the strengthening of your low back. And you are strengthening your low back. Keep alternating with the legs if you like. Then maybe lift both legs up. Feel the balancing on your pelvis. You could bring your legs down and do the same thing with your arms. Lengthen through one arm and then lift the other. Breathe. Let's put it all together by lifting all four limbs and balancing on your pelvis. Breathe. Look down your nose. Hold here. This is your Superman pose. Remember how we swept our arms back in that Warrior 3 pose? Do the same thing here. Sweep your arms back, palms face down. Reach your fingers toward the corner of the mat. You feel like you get some more lift. Look down your nose and hold. Sweep the arms forward and do that Superman again. Breathe. Sweep the arms back. Do that airplane pose again. Look down your nose. Breathe. Fingers are reaching to the corners of your mat. One more time. Third time's the charm. Reach, Superman. Lift your legs a little higher. Sweep your arms back a little farther. Breathe. You got it. Come on down. Whew. Place your hands under your collarbones. Press on up through seal pose. Remember that one? Breathe. Press on up. Think of your glutes softening. Think of your hips widening to the sides of your mat. Breathe. Come on up to standing on your knees. We've done this before. Remember how we did this to prepare to go into toes pose? Now we're going to do a gentle camel. Hands to your low back. That's an important aspect to this. Push your belly forward. Squeeze your elbows toward your spine. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Look up overhead. Breathe. Think of your chest lifting high to the sky. Breathe. That's pretty good, isn't it? Let's finish. Come on down. Come down to your bottom. Let's do bridge. For your bridge pose, your knees are bent. Take your hands in gratitude to prayer center. Soles of your feet are on your mat. Lengthen up through your spine. Slowly with control, come on down. You know, it's the little things you don't think of that add up. Take it slowly with control. A lot of times you just want to come here and come on down, right? Take it slowly with control because you are strong. You are in control. Self-control, remember that. Self-control, one of the fruits of the Spirit. Come on down, all the way down. Bring your heels up closer to your groin, bridge pose. Arms down by your sides, fingers reaching toward the bottom of your mat. Wiggle your shoulders so your shoulders are kind of tucked underneath your back. Soles of your feet are on your mat, ankles under the knees. Press on up. Hips lift, and you're pressing the weight into your feet. Lift. Nice big stretch in the front of your hips. Breathe. All right, your hands. Can the hands meet underneath your low back? Can you grab your fingers? Can you press your thumbs into your low mat? Or interlace your fingers and press your pinkies into your mat. Push harder, lift higher in your hips in your bridge pose. Breathe. Let's remove our hands and roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. Remember how when we came to that standing pose, we stacked our spine like Legos going up? Same thing here. Lower it down one vertebra at a time. Tailbone down last. Goddess, reclined goddess. I love this pose. Spread your knees wide, soles of your feet touch. Tee out your arms nice and wide, and then bend your elbows, keeping the backs of your hands on your mat so you look like a goalpost in the arms. Breathe here in your reclined goddess. Breathe. All right, bring your knees together if you want, or stay in your reclined goddess. Arms down by your sides, and when you're ready, roll onto your right hip. Right arm is extended long. Take your left palm and place it on top of your right arm. So arms are long, palms are touching, knees are bent, open book. Take the left arm, the one on top, bring it across that arm, across the top of your chest. Open it up nice and wide to the left side and look to the left. Keep your knees bent and pointing to the right. Look to the left and breathe. That left arm, the one you moved, keep it nice and straight and create like a little half circle over the top of your body, like a rainbow arc. Let the palms come to touch and then do it again. Open up and look left. Stretch, reach through the arms, keep the knees down, embrace that big twist. Lift the left arm up, bring the palms to touch. And now let's go to the other side. Palms are touching, let's just flip our whole body. Both arms come up, both knees come up. Take it to the other side. Knees go to the left. Arms are already touching, palms are touching. Open it up here. Slide the right hand now across the body. Open it up, tee it out, and look to the right. Another time, big arc over the top of your body, palms touch. Maybe you stay here. Maybe reach your fingers a little bit more to the side of the room. And when you're ready, slide that arm across the body, look to the right. Keep your knees down to the left. Third time's the charm. Arm goes up. Palms touch. One more time. Open up. Open up. Let it be. Now your shoulders are both down on your mat. Your arms are teed out. Bring your knees up. Lift the knees up. Keep them glued together. Lift them up and come down. Settle down onto your bottom. Let both knees fall to the right and both knees fall to the left. Kind of a windshield wipering effect. Breathe. Send your legs back to the midline. Send your legs long on your mat. Now let's do stick pose. Lift your arms high up to the sky. Stretch it out and breathe here in your stick pose. Arms come down, right knee bends, hug the right knee in. Left heel drives to the bottom of your mat with the left toes up towards your shin. Same thing with the right leg. Draw the right toes up towards your shin. Hug that knee in because your arms are strong. Send the right leg long onto your mat. Let's repeat it on the other side. Right heel drives to the bottom of your mat. Right toes toward your shin. Extension and lengthen the right hip. Left heel drags up, up, up. Interlaced fingers, hug the knee in, nice and tightly. Shoulders are down, elbows by your side. Breathe. Left leg goes long to meet the right leg on your mat. When you're ready, just briefly bend your knees, both of them together, draw them up toward the midline of your body. Left hand under left knee, right hand under right knee. Just rock a little bit from side to side. That's a low back massage. Breathe. 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 Let's come in to final Shavasana. Bring your legs down to your mat. Knees straighten, legs go long. Final Shavasana pose. Legs are spread, pinky toes fall toward the heels of the earth. Now just for a little bit, take the heel of your hand, like your underneath the thumb, and press them gently and rest them into your eye sockets. Eyes are closed, let your fingers relax. So you're just kind of like cupping your eyes with that meaty part of your thumb, resting on the bones right under your eyes. Breathe. Feel the weight of your hands. Maybe a little more pressure feels good. There's comfort as you close your eyes and cover your eyes, either with your hands or usually with our little eye shade or towel. There's comfort in blocking out the outside world and turning our attention inward, your concentration inward. You can keep your hands there if you like, or bring them down by your sides, and just breathe. No thoughts, just soft shoulders, soft eyebrows and forehead, heavy limbs, inner peace and focus, and just your yoga. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And here's a yoga tip for your next class. Have your remote control close by, so if you want to stay longer in your final Shavasana pose, just hit mute from this point on. If it's time for you to move on with your day and wrap up this hour, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Circle your wrists and ankles. Been here before. Move them in both directions. Squeeze them and scrunch them. Just move them so they feel good. Take a big inhale, reach high overhead, and take a big good morning stretch. How are your shoulders feeling? More mobile, I'm sure. Maybe point your toes to the bottom of the mat as you stretch even deeper. Exhale, bend your knees and your elbows and roll into a fetal position onto one hip or the other. Enjoy the getting there. Enjoy the rolling onto the hip. Use your low arm's bicep of that bent arm as a pillow for your head. Top shoulder softens and relaxes. Big breath in and big breath out. As you're ready, maybe you keep your eyes closed, or you just gently blink them open. Press on up to a comfortable seated position, whatever is comfortable for you. Bring your hands to prayer center in a position of gratitude and thanks for what you did. Shoulders are soft. Big inhale lengthens you up through the crown of your head. And a big exhale allows you to be soft and comfortable as you nestle into the foundation of the earth beneath you. Gently blink your eyes open. You did it. Congratulations. 1 hour. You may have come here thinking, I don't want to do yoga today. There are those days, right? Just come, just do it, because you do feel better in your mind and your body and your soul. All right. We took that measurement criteria in the beginning. Scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. How did you feel when you started? Now, how do you feel when you're done? How do you feel now? What is that number? I guarantee it's come down. Your stress is less, and you feel better. You feel more mobile. Come back to your yoga every day. Tell your friends about it. They'll feel better too, and we all need to feel better. All right, think about the fruits of the Spirit today. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. All right, you got it. Go forth and do good things. See you on your mat tomorrow. Tomorrow's restorative. You're going to love it. Right? Okay, bye. See you tomorrow. Hi, Piper. You're a good girl. How are you, huh? How are you? You're just a good girl. Where's Bonnie? Hey, Bonnie. Did you like no props today? Huh? New Year's resolutions suck. But your yoga doesn't, as is evidenced by the fact you're still here. I hope you're liking your yoga. Let me know what you like and what you don't like, and we'll customize the yoga just for you. And while you're at it, tell your friends about your yoga. Tell them what we do here at 316. If they'd like to join us, they can join in from the privacy of their own home. Our yoga is free. It's free for anybody and everybody because I want everybody to make 2023 their best year yet. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can check out our website. It's www.316yoga.com. So come to your mat, forget the resolutions, just show up and have a great year. See you